Walked in on loving wife, banging affair partner, while kids sleep upstairs. For the past several weeks, I have been working late nights in the office so I can finish work early so I can have breakfast with the kids and do the school runs. Tonight the boss let me finish halfway though my shift due to the amount of work I have put in on a project that now completed. On the drive home I was looking forward to us time with the little ones in bed, while I walked into my wife fucking some bloke on the sofa. Deer in headlight moment. I grabbed my keys and now I am in the office wondering what the hell I am going to do now. My phone is blowing up with calls and texts from my wife telling me to come back so she can explain. I just can't. I am so pissed off right now. Never thought she would cheat on me. We have been happily married for over a decade. Sure, we have had our arguments over the years, but what married couple hasn't? Given her everything she asked for along 3 beautiful kids. Advice needed please. I am at a loss of what to do. Update. Although it's only been 9 days since I posted about catching my wife having sex with a fair partner on the sofa, I know a lot of you have asked to be kept updated. Before I update you, I would like to thank you all for your advice and support. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to respond to your comments due to the shit show that is currently happening until now. Well, as you can imagine, the shit has now hit the fan. I have no idea where to start. Well, I am currently off work and will be until I am ready to go back. A few of you asked why I didn't smash the guy's face in. Is mainly because if I got arrested then social services would have got involved and event a divorce that would be used against me. I took your advice to get all bank accounts in order and removed my wife from the kids' trust funds and my own account straight away in case she tried to empty them. She has her own account for her money she earns from work. Well, she did indeed try to empty all of them 2 days after my visit. FYI, I have already paid the bills for the house and cars days before this crap show happened. I have been the doctors to be checked for STIs literally days after I posted and have been given the all clear, followed by a long meeting with a team of divorce lawyers to find out what is to happen next. Being a computer technician, I have remote access to my home computer and secondary laptop that the kids use for schoolwork and well have found that my dear wife has left herself locked into the book of face and well stumbled across message upon message to her affair partner, photos, sexting, paid bills for hotels and meet-up arrangements etc. Turns out this affair has been going on for 7 years now. Her affair partner is her best friend's little brother and she has been fucking with him since he was 19. All this has been given to the lawyers as there is no going back now. I have to wait for a few months to start the process as there is currently a bad log due to the pandemic. Also, all trust in her has been completely destroyed that no amount couple counseling will save this marriage. I returned home 4 days ago, packed her bags and kicked her cheating arse out. The kids are with me and after a difficult conversation with all 3 of them, they now fully aware that mummy is not coming back but also they can all still see her. While I am angry with her, I won't be that parent that holds the kids to ransom. My in-laws and family are fully aware of what their daughter, sister has done. Her relationship with her family is now strained. Her bestie slated me on FB about walking out on her and the kids and well, my bill posted the link to Reddit on FB so now everyone knows and the post was taken down. As for my wife, I haven't spoken one word to her since that night and all communication will be thought the lawyers now. I have text messages from her basically saying that she is going to ruin me in court, say shit like I was controlling, abusive etc. The lawyers have all copies. I have deleted Facebook due to her small circle of friends send vile messages for ruining her life. I am currently awaiting on results of the paternity test to see if the kids are mine. The affair partner demanded to be tested in case the younger 2 are his, but for now they are with me as my wife is living with affair partner. Update 2. After 2 tests, first was due to a contamination issue. I received the results 2 weeks ago and well I have gone from having 3 kids to 1 biological child, the eldest. In those 2 weeks my ex's affair partner parents managed to get emergency custody of the younger 2 due to the fact I am not a blood relative. I tried so hard to fight for them in court. I am trying to be strong for my son, but the rug has been fully pulled from under our feet. I have put the house on the market to sell and currently renting a small 2-bedroom apartment because I can't live there anymore. Everything reminds me of the kids. Both my son and I are currently in therapy together. He is working through trust issues with his mother and not seeing his siblings every day has taken its toll. Comments. Mate, I am so sorry for you and your son. How old are your kids? And I expect there will be a lot of questions from them as to why they aren't seeing their dad anymore. So I'm not sure if you are still open to seeing them / that's even possibly legally. I'd go with I would love to be your dad, but I'm not your father. Make sure you keep records about the court decision and wanting to see them, all of her messages, pre and post D-Day for later reference to the kids, as I am sure they will come back to you in years to come. I'm so sorry, mate. I hope you get it all sorted out legally as quickly as possible. If it's any consolation, I imagine the reality of living with her dropkick AP will be shit and she will likely lose her social circle. My wife has been checking on me with her best friend's brother since he was 19, and her best friend knew the entire time. I've lost custody of my 2 youngest children because I am not their bio dad. Those words should be enough to ruin her in anyone's eyes. Gandalf says, I am so sorry you're dealing with this, but the worst thing is this point you need to take away. Now that their bio family has gotten involved, you have little to no legal chance to have anything to do with them. Your sole son, that is your biological child, will be the only one you will have legal connection to. I checked your other comments and only say you're not in the USA, so getting detailed advice on your situation for legal use will be rough, but the moral one is all we can offer. That is simple. If you can't have any way to talk things out in any way with the bio dad's family, you have no choice but to move on, seek sole custody over your sole child, and use the fact she has been cheating and the other kids was not yours biologically. The kids overall will struggle, but they will grow up and know what happened. Your son can and will at some point see his siblings, and there will be shared of whys and such. All you can hope for if you do is they will grow up and seek you out when the right to have a say is theirs. But if you can try to talk to the bio family, try and work out something if you wish for you to stay in their lives. It will be hard for sure, but that is your choice. You might have already, but if not, seek legal help and find out how they was able to get custody in the first place, since this is all new and happening fast. Second story, it's been 35 years and I still regret leaving. I don't know why I'm posting this, but I have to get this off my chest. I, 60M, got married young at 18. I married my high school sweetheart. She was smart, funny, kind, and the kind of person who could capture a room, very extroverted. I'm incredibly introverted, but we were a good match. By the time we were 25 we had 2 small children and I was happy with how my life was. Then my wife got a new job and she was excelling, getting promotions, working later. I think you see where this is going. You are wrong, by the way. I cheated on her. Whilst she was out working late to make money to support our children, I was building up a resentment towards her. She wasn't home to make dinner and I never bothered to learn to cook. Washing would pile up for a few days because I didn't do it, and I was doing the school run because she was at work. But I never voiced how I felt, and every day my beautiful wife would come home I would put a front on and pretend everything was fine when it wasn't. I know if I had told her how I felt she would have listened, but I didn't. I met a woman at a work thing and we spoke over the phone constantly for a few weeks. Things turned inappropriate quickly and I didn't stop it. I wrote my wife a birthday card telling her how much I loved her and she was an amazing person, then 2 weeks later walked out on her. And the worst part was she never screamed at me or yelled. She just stood there and watched me take my things whilst my children were in the other room completely oblivious to what was going on. She just stood there silently crying. I broke the best person in my life. She ended up losing her job because she couldn't manage the school run or extra child arrangements, so my alimony payments had to go up and I resented her for that. Looking back on it now, how selfish could I be? The women who I betrayed and was now single-handedly raising my children needed more money to care for them. I saw them every other Saturday, but that was it. My AP and I fizzled almost immediately. She didn't want something with me, and she really didn't want something with me when I was almost broke from paying alimony. My wife was and still is the strongest person I know. She never let me know how much I hurt her, but I heard her crying herself to sleep every night I had to stay over for something with the kids. I spent years resenting my wife for stealing my money when in reality I knew it was my fault, and I still loved her but was too proud to say. And even though I left, it was her who eventually filed for divorce because every time she asked me if I had gotten a lawyer I would say, I'm not ready. Eventually she filed because she said it was too painful. I said some really awful things to her when I was angry, like I didn't love you for a long time. I stayed for the children and every time she just nothing back. I'll never forgive myself for that. She wanted to try make it work. She fought for me every day for months and I wasn't interested. She loved me even when I hated her. Then she met Mark. He was older, wiser, and he loved her the way I should have loved her. He was and is a good man to her and my children. Watching someone else love the person you were supposed to love forever is quite possibly the worst thing I've ever had to do. I blurted out "I love you" to her 2 weeks before her wedding, and she looked at me and said, "Then you should have fought for me, because I would have loved you forever if you'd let me." On the day of her wedding I sat outside the church in my car, telling myself I would object the wedding, but I didn't. That was 30 years ago, and seeing that written in front of me now is just as painful as it was hearing it all those years ago. Having to watch her with him all these years has been my punishment, and I've had the odd relationship but nothing serious. I will never forgive myself for what I did. It should have been our 42nd wedding anniversary today. I don't think anyone survives infidelity entirely. I think you learn to live with it.